Pokemon having multiple abilities at once is one of the main draws of Pokemon Elite Redux. They're the main component of the battles in the game and are very important in separating Pokemon who are broken and Pokemon who aren't worth using. So to help upgrade certain Pokemon, there are a lot of brand new abilities created just for this game, especially for the new 2.0 version. Not all abilities were created with equal power and some are much greater than others. In this video, I will go over 10 of the best new abilities in Emerald Elite Redux. Pokemon having multiple abilities clearly can create some busted Pokemon, but luckily the limit is 4 here in Emerald Elite Redux. Well, what if I told you this wasn't actually the case? There's actually an ability that in itself is 5 abilities at once. That ability is Big Leaves, and it's as strong as it sounds. 5 abilities this includes are Chloroplast, which allows a Pokemon to battle as if it's in sunlight, instantly activating moves like Solar Beam, but not activating other abilities. Chlorophyll, which increases speed by 50% in sunlight. Harvest, allowing a 50% chance for a Pokemon to gain back a berry it's consumed, 100% chance in sunlight. Leaf Guard, which blocks status in sunlight. And lastly, Solar Power, which boosts its highest attack stat by 50% in sunlight. Now I know most of these require sunlight for full power, but that isn't very hard to achieve, and if it's already up, Pokemon with Big Leaves are extremely dangerous. Citrus berries continuously being harvested and power and speed being boosted creates a Pokemon that can easily sweep and is very difficult to take out. Some notable Pokemon that get this ability are Mega Venusaur and Sceptile, Meganium and Arboliva, and they're all really strong because of this fantastic ability. We all can agree Eruption is a powerful move, while Volcano Rage lets a Pokemon use it for free on top of already using a strong move. Specifically a fire move, as that's what will trigger the 50 base power Eruption. The 3 Pokemon that currently get Volcano Rage are Mega Typhlosion, Entei, and Mega Camerupt. Mega Typhlosion and Entei are fast enough for this to be a real problem. Getting hit with a max power Eruption from one of these Pokemon is hard enough, but following it up with another one not only opens up many more Pokemon to get knocked out, but also takes out sashed Pokemon as well. The other great thing about it being Eruption is that it hits both targets in doubles. 200 base power Eruption that hits twice and both targets is wild to me. What's even crazier is that even a status move like Will-O-Wisp will trigger this too. In the last Broken Abilities video, one ability I highlighted was Multi-Headed, which lets any move hit multiple times but caps at 3. Minion Control is the upgraded version of this. Instead, this ability hits as many times as there are healthy members in the party. Redux Alakazam is the only Pokemon with this ability and has 135 special attack, so getting hit with moves like Dark Pulse, Shadow Ball, and Psychic 6 times is going to destroy a lot of Pokemon. Sturdy and Focus Sash Pokemon aren't the answer either. Anyone that has used Redux Alakazam has seen the power from letting moves hit this many times. However, these multi-hit abilities have been nerfed as the flinch chance is only on the initial hit, but it's still extremely useful. Imagine being able to invest 252 EVs and a positive nature into not 1, but 2 different stats at the same time. Imagine having access to a status move that gives you +4 in 1 turn. This is exactly what you get with a Pokemon with the ability Momentum or Impulse. Momentum is an ability that uses a Pokemon's speed stat to calculate damage for contact moves, while Impulse works the same with non-contact moves. It's ridiculously powerful as it essentially frees up 252 EVs and can be used to bulk up a Pokemon that has a very high speed with a high damage to match. A Pokemon like Mega Crobat, who has 165 in speed, basically also has 165 in attack as well. A Selgor with 140 in speed has 140 in attack. These are extremely scary Pokemon. The only Pokemon with Impulse are Iron Bundle and Kilowattrel, who both have top tier speed. But the real broken part is these Pokemon having access to agility, doubling the speed, and essentially doubling attack as well. If you're wondering what that looks like, yeah, this ability is busted. The ability to set up dual screens is a valuable trait to have as a support Pokemon. It can be a little tricky to get both up at times, especially in singles. There is a move that can set it up in 1 turn, but Hail needs to be up. That move is Aurora Veil. Again, it can be tricky to activate, but there's now an ability that can set this up just by hitting the field. Northwind not only sets up a 3-turn Aurora Veil when a Pokemon hits the field, but it also makes them immune to hail damage. This ability not only helps the team as a whole, it makes any Pokemon with it a lot bulkier, giving it time to set up. Some notable Pokemon with Northwind are Articuno, Alolan Ninetales, and Mega Obama Snow. One of the greatest abilities of all time, Wonder Guard, is exclusive to a Pokemon with 1 HP, being Shedinja. And it makes sense, since literally anything can take it out. So it makes even more sense that its new Mega Evolution would get a brand new broken ability to help with this issue. Cheating Death is a unique ability for Mega Shedinja and completely blocks damage 2 times. Mega Shedinja can attack you twice and there's nothing you can do, or it can set itself up for free with Swords Dances. It can do some serious damage to team before its shields are down. One negative to this ability, however, is any damage uses up one of its blocks, including multi-hit moves or entry hazards. It's still wild that it can have free turns and put plenty of Pokemon in a bad spot. We've seen plenty of times where giving an ability multiple abilities at once can create some broken Pokemon. Showdown Mode is only 2 combined abilities but creates a nuke. The ability Ambush, which guarantees a critical hit on the first turn, and Violent Rush, which increases attack by 20% and speed by 50% on the first turn. Not a lot of Pokemon can handle being hit with something this powerful, but other than using Protect or Fake Out, someone is going to be hit by it. Low Kicks is the only Pokemon that gets this ability and has incredibly strong moves like First Impression, High Jump Kick, and Axe Kick. We've all been on the receiving end of one of these moves, and it's part of the reason why the Museum 1v3 is so difficult to get through. Super effective moves are crucial in taking out tanky Pokemon, as leaving them around can quickly get out of hand. Well, the ability Primal Armor makes this impossible in some cases, reducing super effective damage by 50%, essentially canceling out weaknesses. Unless it's a 4 times super effective weakness, there's not many ways around it. Some really good Pokemon get Primal Armor like both Primal Kyogre and Groudon, Zygarde, and Mega Aggron and Steelix. These are some extremely bulky Pokemon as is, but also have the power to be destructive. Taking away some of the best tools to defeat them makes them that much greater. Sure, Mega Redux Garchomp is a menace regardless of its abilities. I mean, look at its stat spread. But its signature ability Haunting Frenzy brings this to insanity, adding a 20% chance to flinch to all of its moves. It's absurd when you think about it because it has top end speed and power, so it will hit first most of the time, and surviving a hit is difficult enough. But each time, you only have an 80% chance to counter. If it gets the flinch, it's basically game over. It doesn't stop there, however, as Haunting Frenzy also gives Garchomp a +1 to speed for kills. This allows more investment into attack as well as quickly depletes any options that can outspeed it. Many people consider this the best Mega in the game, and Haunting Frenzy is a large part of this. Again, any ability where you can invest EVs and nature into one stat while also benefiting another stat is clearly broken. Momentum and Impulse boost up either attack and speed, while the ability Equinox boosts up both special attack and physical attack at the same time by matching the values to the higher of the two. This is very helpful for mixed attackers as they usually need to sacrifice something to be effective or are just forced to drop it entirely. Pokemon like Mega Infernape can run a move like Flamethrower and Close Combat and still bring equal power. Or a Pokemon like Roaring Moon, who has awful special attack, will actually be able to use some of its great special moves it has access to. An important benefit is running moves with stat drop drawbacks such as Overheat or Fluor Cannon in Iron Valiant's case, as they will not be affected by these drops because they will be calculating from the attack stat. Finding the right matchup against these Pokemon is a challenge to say the least. These were just a few of the amazing and busted abilities in Emerald Elite Redux, and there are plenty more. Which abilities that I didn't mention here do you think are the most broken? Check out the first video on broken abilities to see if I've already covered them there. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos, and shout out to all the members. I will see you in the next one. Peace.